Hi everybody, I'm back already. That was really quick. This video is on the new moon in Taurus, which happens on the 4th of May 2019, and it takes place at 11:45 in the evening, and that's based on UK time, so London time. Now, a new moon is when the moon recharges its batteries. The sun, oh, by the way, usually in these videos, I put the chart next up to myself, like I show the chart. So I'm just gonna hold it up for a second here so that you can, if you wanna look at the chart, you can just take a screenshot and then follow me as I go through it. So screenshots, there you go. Now there's no comments, so now's a good time to take a screenshot. Go for it, snap away. So that's what the chart looks like. 12 houses, all of that. So that's what I'm working on, okay? So thank you. I think it's cool that I'm doing these live as well. It's fun because it's, I don't get a second take. I have to do, I have to really like, live is a different experience than doing it alone. And I can answer your questions as I go along. Hi, Heidi again. Yeah, and it's fun to interact with you guys while I'm talking about these things because like the in the thing that I did a moment ago, someone says change course, and that really added something to that day's advice and direction. So fab. Okay, so the sun and the moon, they conjunct each other when it's a new moon, and the moon goes totally black. Okay, and the moon absorbs the sun's energy and it recharges its batteries. It's like a meditation for the moon sitting next to the sun, and it gets the energy back, and in this case it pulls in loads of Taurus energy. And remember, the moon is how you feel, and the sun is your identity. So they're perfectly aligned. So during a new moon, you feel a sense of, oh, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I feel a sense of well-being, especially a new moon in Taurus, because it's all about your body. And it's all about sensuality and not just focusing on, am I pain-free, but really using your body as a tool for pleasure and to be strong and to go on adventures and to have fun in a sense. And you can only do that by getting out of your house sometimes, like taking a walk on the beach or going for a hike, something like that. It's very physical, it's very down to earth, it's very grounded and simple, and it just says enjoy the simple things in life. So if you're in good health, then that's one thing to be grateful for anyway, and to put on your gratitude list. Thank you, the fact that I can climb this hill and I can see this beautiful view, and that I have the freedom and health to do that. So the moon absorbs the Taurus energy, and both the sun and the moon are at 14 degrees. Yeah, exactly. Or not working a gazillion hours and treating your body right and knowing what your limits are, rather than being in your head all the time and saying, shut up, body, I'll just take a couple of painkillers and keep going. You know, you're kinder to yourself. You're more in touch with your body. 14, 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is about freedom. So it's freedom from financial concerns, and freedom from physical aches and pains, and freedom from feeling stuck in your area, and the ability to let go and say, do you know what, I can change this. I think it, therefore it will become what I want it to be. So this is the perfect time, like I said in the other video, to take your ideas. You're going to, Neptune is in a really good place. Neptune is at 18 degrees in the sign that it rules, Pisces. So 1 and 8 is 9, that's spirituality and completion. And Neptune is the planet of spirituality and water and your imagination and intuition. And in Pisces, it opens up a whole world of connection with your dreams and your desires. So anything you can think of is going to be very available to you at the forefront of your mind. And it's like, I have this desire to move. I have a desire to be with someone. I have the desire to change location. I want to go live by the beach. I want to do that. I want, I want, I want. So there's nothing wrong with wanting things and wanting to make changes, because a lot of our happiness is an inside job, okay? So thinking positively and being grateful for what you've got, and not complaining all the time, which is something I'm guilty of sometimes. I can get really complainy. But you know, doing inner work, that's half of the battle of being happy, okay? In the 12 steps, they say if you move, you're doing a geographical, which means that you think you're going to be happy somewhere else, but you always take yourself and your problems with you. But you can't not argue with that and say, do you know what? I lived in some dump and now I'm moving to a luxury flat in the Burj Khalifa or whatever. That big tower in Dubai, and I live on the top floor and I have the most beautiful view. You can't argue with the fact that your standard of living, if that improves, you're going to feel better and you're going to feel freer. So this is the time. This is what I want to underline and highlight and emphasize during this new moon. This is a time to dream and to allow yourself to dream. You need sunshine. Well, this is the month when it's coming in. If you're in the northern hemisphere, we're getting more sunshine and heat and warmth and practical things blooming. So allow yourself to tap into your own dreams. They're going to be right there. And then do something about it, like the people who asked about moving and changing jobs and all of those things. And loving, because love will set you free. Exactly. So that's another fabulous place. Ohio isn't that bad. My sister lives in Ohio. Don't badmouth Ohio. She loves it there. She thinks it's great. Okay, so we've got this new moon. It's at 14 degrees. So love will set you free. Changing your working situation will set you free. Oh, thank you. That's sweet. And doing what you actually want will set you free. Totally. So, oh, I bet it's beautiful in Cape Town. Every day is beautiful in Cape Town, almost. Now, Uranus is 11 degrees away from this new moon. So in astrology, you've got something called orbs, okay? So if something is 10 degrees from another planet, then it meshes and molds and blends its energy together with that planet. But I'm sometimes a little bit forgiving, and it's at 11 degrees, so I think it still has an influence. And Uranus is at 3 degrees in Taurus, and that's about communicating your needs, whether they be conventional or unconventional, and really having the voice to communicate what you want. So rather than being all timid and saying, you know what, I really don't want to do 60 hours a week because I'm in pain and I'm taking Percocets just to get through work, and I'm going to listen to my body and say, I can't do 60 hours, I can only do 40 hours, and I'm going to tell my boss that. That means you have to be assertive, and that means you have to kind of stand up for yourself. And some people struggle with that. So this will also make you more assertive, especially if at the end of that assertion or assertiveness, you have more freedom. That's the ultimate goal here, this new moon, to set intentions and to plant seeds of intention, which are going to set you free and make your life feel like you have more choice and control over it. Remember, Taurus and Scorpio are on the same axis, and it's the control axis. Yeah, like if you have too many hours on the road, then you can find ways to move, so you have fewer hours. Scorpio is about emotional control. Taurus is about physical control. So you can use your dreams and your thoughts and your desires to control your physical circumstances and to create more freedom in your life. Now, it quincunxes Pallas Athena, which is on the other side of the chart. A quincunx is when a planet is 150 degrees away from another one. And Pallas Athena is like the female version of Mars. She's the warrior goddess, and she is at 13 degrees in Libra. So she's there, she's saying, I want to explore and I want to build bridges with new people and in new places, and I want to find a new place to settle, a new job, a new way of living, a new romance, a new relationship. Again, coming back to I want. And it's really it's a time to focus on yourself. You know, the time when we're in Capricorn and Aquarius and Pisces, that's very much about being self-sacrificing and taking care of other people. But Aries and Taurus, it's the beginning of the year. The world is waking up again. It's about the self and creating the life you want. And Taurus is about building the life you want. So it's natural to be somewhat self-absorbed at the moment and to say, what can I do to be happier? And that's not a bad question to ask yourself. We all deserve happiness. And I just want you to know this. This is for everyone. And this reading, by the way, is for all signs of the zodiac. I think I didn't mention that. It's for everyone who watches. In the monthlies, I will tell you what house the new moon is in and in what area of life it's going to affect you. And the monthlies I'm going to try and do over the next couple of days. So watch out for those. But it's a time to really build these bridges and to put down, to allow yourself to change, and then to put down roots and to make your life better. It also has a trine with Saturn at 20 degrees in Capricorn, the South Node at 21 degrees in Capricorn, and Pluto at 23 degrees in Capricorn. Saturn is the head teacher of the chart. It says, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So it says, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Look, this is the plan, and this is where you're at. And if you're not on track, Saturn sometimes goes poof, and it forces you to look at what you're meant to do. So it's an automatic get back on track machine. So Saturn is like a father figure that is an authority figure, and it nurtures you and it wants the best for you. So oh, I'm sorry about that. Someone keeps sending me messages. I'm back now. Sorry about that, but someone keeps sending messages on Facebook, so it took me out of here for a second. Sorry. Oh, it's Austria. Hello in Austria. Yeah, so if you're looking for the Toronto person, if you're looking forward to a shorter commute, this is the time to do it. If you think you're supposed to go west and have those experiences, this is the month to do it. You guys are all on track. You're getting it. This is the plan. This is what this new moon is about and what it wants you to do. So you've got Saturn, the father figure, saying this is the plan. Then the South Node is all of your past experience at 21 degrees. That's 3, communication and new beginnings in Capricorn. So you will know how to do it. You've moved before. You've been dumped before. You've been fired before. You've started a new job before. You know, you've done a lot of things before. So it's not the end of the world. You've done a lot of this before. You know how to do it. And the trine with the sun and the moon reminds you of that. You have a lot more power than you think and than you realize. You're not, you know, incompetent. You're capable and competent, and you can live your life the way you want to. And it trines Pluto at 23 degrees in Capricorn. So we've got another 5 here. That's freedom. So Pluto is the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's death and rebirth. It rules Scorpio, the sign of really being the emotional detective and diving down into your emotional truth. So you can trust your dreams and your guidance. Sometimes we have ideas and they're like rubbishy ideas. And it's ego and it's full of fear. And sometimes we have things that are just natural. You know, like for instance, I moved to Brighton 8 months ago. And I moved as a kind of because I was in therapy. Sorry, I'm talking about myself again. Some people don't like it if I talk about myself, but I'm just using myself as an example, so if you don't like it. And I was in therapy, and my therapist said, you know, well, you're not helping yourself out because we're in the middle of nowhere, so how are you going to find someone, you know, to be with? Because Glastonbury is very rural. So I thought, okay, I got this message that go to Brighton, which is the gay capital of England, and go there to give yourself a chance to find someone. Now, I haven't found anyone. It's not worked. And a lot of it is about me because of what I think about love and the blockages I have and feelings of being unlovable and all of these things. So it's my vibration that causes the blockage, and I realize that, and I work on it consistently. But it's been helpful by showing me that it doesn't matter where you are sometimes. You have a chance wherever you go. I learned that. Also, I met the love of my life, Prince Harry, and I shook his hand and said hi to him. That was worth it in itself to move here. Just that. So, we've got the trine with those earthy, serious planets. No, I don't like women. I like men a lot. Although they don't like me very much. That's the problem. We've got a trine. I'm just waiting for the hate now. And then I have to ban someone. No hate yet. I know me and Harry would have made the best couple. We would have had the best couple ever. Thank you for saying that. I love you. Okay, so then it doesn't really connect with much else. So I'm just showing you the chart so you can see for yourself. There you go. So do you see the trine with that area? So we've got the new moon, and there's the trine, and there's the quincunx with Pallas Athena. I'm just looking to see what other things it forms. Oh, it forms a sextile with Neptune, and that's where the accessibility with your hopes and dreams comes from, and they're going to be right there. I want to reduce my commute. Wouldn't it be wonderful to live in the countryside? Da-da-da. All of that. So, dreams and actions, when those two come together, you're able to change your entire life. And it's, like I said, a balancing act between inner work and outer work. And there's no denying that if you put yourself in a better situation physically, financially, life is going to get easier and you're under less pressure. Thank you, Heidi. You're an angel. I love you for saying that. Okay, so let's look at what else we've got in the chart. We've got a grand cross. And a grand cross is this big square, this big red square. Do you see it? So we've got one square here, there, and there. And that's called a grand cross. And that combines lots of different what direction to go, and you become conflicted, and sometimes it can become so overwhelming that you end up doing nothing. So this one connects the North Node at 21 degrees in Cancer with the midheaven in Libra at 25 degrees. That Saturn, South Node, and Pluto stellium down, that I mentioned already, and Mercury and Uranus in Aries and in Taurus. Okay, so this grand cross, first of all, expect to have lots of energy, because a grand cross always creates frenetic, frantic energy. I love you back, Lala. You're the best. So the North Node in Cancer at 21 degrees says, take care of yourself. I want you to nurture yourself. I want you to heal your life. Charity begins at home. You don't have to take care of everyone else's problems. You also have a right to be happy. That then connects with the Libra midheaven, which says, I want to use my mind, and I want to get creative, and I want to dream to build new bridges in my life, to make my life bigger, to broaden my horizons, to see something new, to make life more exciting, to bring new people into it. Maybe joining a club, like a boating club, or traveling somewhere that you've never been before. Building new bridges with people, places, and things. And your creativity, because of Neptune, is really going to be heightened, and everything that you dream of is going to be right there. And you're going to be like, okay, I get it. That then squares Saturn and Pluto down here, so from there to there. Thank you. God, you're so nice, everybody. Thanks for being so nice. It's amazing. So it connects with Saturn and Pluto and your South Node, so that I've talked about. It's You've done this before. You know how to make changes for yourself. You know how to change your physical circumstances to make life better. And then finally, it connects with Mercury at 26 degrees in Aries. And I haven't mentioned that yet. Mercury is the communication planet and the way you think. Okay? In Aries, it is very direct. It looks at the future. And it's very much about being strong and assertive and overcoming obstacles and bulldozing through obstacles. Like, so if someone says, oh no, you know, if you want to rent this apartment, we don't allow dogs and the rent is $2,000. And you're like, well, I have a pet. And they say, well, no, then you can't move in. You don't have to take that no as an answer. Well, can we work something out in terms of the dog? What are you worried about? Are you worried about the additional damage that might be caused to the flat? Or why are you saying no to pets? You're allowed to question these things and you'll get an answer. And also the rent, you can say, oh, 2,000, don't you think that's a bit steep for this area compared to the rents around here? And are you willing to kind of be a bit flexible on that? That's what Mercury in Aries allows you to do. It allows you to challenge no's. Not noses, no's. No, you're not coming here. And you don't accept that and you just say, you don't say no to me. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to do what I want. And if I don't get it here, I'll get it somewhere else. It's at 8 degrees, which is power. So you're really unstoppable. And this grand cross actually isn't that conflicting because you're powerful and assertive. You want to take care of yourself. You want to expand your life and you want to make changes to your physical, practical life. And it actually all gels pretty much together. Because usually the Grand Cross can be very conflicting and you can't do everything at once. But this one works. It's really good. Then we've got the part of fortune, that, an Arabic part, and Jupiter sitting just underneath the rising sign, the ascendant, okay? So Jupiter on the rising sign means that you're naturally lucky. Again, it's at 23. We've got loads of 23s, which is 5, which is freedom. And it's in the sign that it rules, Sagittarius. So for all of us this year, it's going to be a good year because Jupiter is in the sign that it rules, Sagittarius, once every 12 years. And when it's in the sign that it naturally rules, it's when it's in its most comfortable position. So it's me wearing a t-shirt and jeans and some nice trainers rather than a suit. I feel much more comfortable in my t-shirt and my jeans than I do in a suit. And I can feel much more relaxed and I can be myself more in my little relaxing, comfortable clothing. It's just that kind of thing. So Jupiter can express its good luck and allow you to broaden your life and make it bigger by moving forward and by creating a bigger sense of freedom. And the part of fortune is sitting on the good luck planet, Jupiter. So it doesn't get much better than this. And it's at 21 degrees in Sag. So if you allow yourself to move and to broaden your horizons and to join new things and to start new relationships and to do all of these things, then that's when the good luck kicks in and that's when things will open up for you. So take risks with relationships, with changing jobs, with negotiating your salary. You know, if it's really iffy and you feel like, oh, I'm never going to get this increase or they're never going to go for this, take a risk. You're very likely to succeed. Luck is on your side. By the way, someone just asked if these are available to view afterwards. Yeah, it's just I come on live, but they'll stay on, these videos. So you can watch this back if you can't stay the whole way through. So don't worry about that. We've also got Mars sitting on the descendant at 22 degrees in Gemini. Wow. And if you communicate with yourself and you walk through this doorway into the unknown, because that can be scary. Like, I remember I moved to Australia with a suitcase and nothing else. And that was scary. I showed up at Sydney Airport, didn't know anybody. And I just had to make it happen. And if you take a risk like that, it doesn't have to be that extreme, you know. It can be taking the risk of moving to a different suburb in your city. Mars is going to help strengthen you and give you the confidence to do that, along with Mercury in Aries and Saturn and Pluto. Everything is giving you confidence and strength to make changes. It's not like a spring clean, it's like a spring build. This is the time when you're meant to build in changes into your life that will make you happy. And 22 degrees is the master number of the builder. So you're very unlikely to create something that's rubbish and that bothers you. And that is it. Venus is in Aries at also 8 degrees. So you love hard, you love profoundly, you're willing to take risks in love. You might be able to, yeah, you can break down those walls. I spoke about this recently in one of my tarot readings. I did this visualization. I felt like I had a wall in front of my love garden, and I was able to just have it smashed down. And that's what you can do. You can smash down your own emotional blocks to love. You know, when you've been hurt in the past or when you've been through a nasty divorce, it leaves a mark. And you build bridges, no, not bridges, walls to protect your heart, that you don't want to get heartbroken again. But if you close yourself down like that, or you feel unlovable, then you exude an energy of no vacancy, not available. And Venus at 17 degrees in Aries is really able to smash through any kind of blockages like that, and is going to allow you to heal yourself and to love yourself to the extent that you can overcome your own issues and actually interact and fulfill that kind of dream, which is also just in your head. You know, I want to love someone. Where does that come from? Chemically, it comes from your body to some degree, but also it comes spiritually, because the building blocks of the universe are love. So when you're in love, that's the greatest miracle we can experience. And that's why we're all looking for love. You know, that's why we have a gazillion dating apps that don't work. I'm sorry, that was cynical. Some of them do work, and you can find true love on dating apps. Yes. Okay. And that's it. I keep saying that's it and then adding something else. But Ceres, abundance, prosperity, 12 degrees in Sagittarius in your 12th house. So the dreams and imagination, that's your higher power talking to you. So trust that, because that's going to shower you with wealth and abundance and prosperity and happiness and success. Thank you. I love these pillows as well. So do we have any questions about this new moon? Any questions? Yeah, it is going to be a great new moon. It's going to be fab. It's like New Year's, this new moon. Thank you, Lisa. It's not that much of a gift. I mean, I'm very earthy, so I use symbols. I read the symbols, and that allows me to tap into my intuition. So while I'm reading this, I get messages in. So when I read your birth charts in a personal reading, I read the symbols, but then I get sentences in my head that I just hear. And that's why I use tarot and astrology, because they open my intuition. So I don't know if it's so much of a gift. It's just the way I'm able to tap into my intuition. And we can all do this and find your way of tapping into your intuition. And then you don't need to talk to people like me, because your guidance is always going to be much more spot on than anyone else's. We try, and the astrology is amazingly accurate. But you yourself, listening to yourself, that's always going to be number one. Yeah, you don't know how to read that. So you just got to, that's why I said distance learning course, to learn how to read a chart. Once you know how to do it, you're able to do it forever. I'm looking forward to the appointment as well, Mona. That'll be great. Charmaine, if you order a personal reading, I can look at that for you. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you as well again. Any ritual new moon by the Clava, what? By the Clava cans near Inverness. I have a ritual. A ritual is perfect because you're taking the time out to plant those seeds of intention. So do take time out, 10 minutes, do a ritual if you want. I'm giving everyone hugs as well. Hugs, everybody. Thank you, Sherry. Is Saturn directly involved in this? Yes. Saturn, you see the new moon there? Saturn it's trine to the new moon via a trine. And a trine is when two planets 120 degrees away from each other. And it's a harmonious, positive relationship. So they are loving each other. So Saturn is helping to support you and keep the scaffolding, the groundedness in place. I'm so super. Thank you, Claudia. That's lovely. Any questions? Any other questions? Do you choose charts for business part? Yes, I do. That's called synastry. And I look at the chart and I look at the other person's chart and I combine them. And I can also look at a business and draw up a chart for a business and tell you when the best time is to start a new business. I'm going to an awards ceremony on that day and I entered an art show. Oh, well done. That bodes really, really well for you. That's great. Oh, thank you, Ethel, for watching my videos. That's great. Is Lilith important? Yes, Lilith is important. Lilith is the part of the chart where the ego tries to sabotage you, but Lilith doesn't connect with this new moon. The ego is not involved, so we get a bit of a break, and neither is Chiron. So the ego is really just out the window during this new moon. That's why it's so fab and so positive. See you later, Eileen. Thanks for joining. Beltane is on the 30th, I think. Yeah, double check that. But Beltane, the pagan festival, is on the 30th, I think. Yeah, Kim, do. That would be lovely. Oh, please. Don't say that. You're a senior. There won't be much left. There's always... You're still here for a reason, you know? Every day is a reason. Like... we're here every day to do something. Yes, remember to subscribe to my channel, please, and to hit the like button and to share the video and all of that. Why is Black Moon Lilith called that? I don't know. Lilith is in the Bible story, the original kind of dark. It's the stupid, you know, patriarchal concept of the disobedient woman, the thing that leads you astray. Like Eve is like the temptress to Adam, and that's why the Catholic Church made women second-class citizens. But Lilith is like, she totally just busted the whole thing out the roof. She said, I don't care about any of your rules, bite me. I'm like Lilith, I will do what I will do. Apparently she was the first thing that God created, and that's why it's seen as the ego. Because some people say Lilith is like Lucifer, you know, the first thing that fell to earth kind of thing. Crikey, I know, right? Jen, hello Jen Goodwin, how are you? Any other questions about this full new moon or anything else? I don't want to go either. I feel very comfortable chatting to you guys today. You're keeping me company. I might do the daily tarot reading live as well. I haven't done that ever. Yeah, I love Lilith too because she forces us to kind of look at where we're scared, you know? Do you do charts, and when does change and how much for making a chart? Go to gregoryscott.com. I do draw up charts. And you will see all the prices. Just go to book your reading. It's on the front page. Just book your reading and you'll be taken to the readings page. It says exactly how much I charge for a personal chart. And I do, in the different appointments, I have like 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, an hour. And in the hour appointment, I look at everything. I look at the astrocartography, which shows me where the best place is for you to live. I look at the progress chart, the transits. So how you've changed over the years, what's coming up for you. I look at the natal charts, which is who you are. I look at the solar return charts to see what's coming up in the year ahead. I use the tarot as I go along. So I have a second opinion. Tarot is just the best. I love it. Okay, I've missed some questions here. Let's see. You loved my tarot course. Thank you. I'm going to update that soon. So if you want the tarot course, that's That's great, but I'm gonna add something else, one more video to it that I'm gonna add soon. Grand solar minimum, how does that affect the charts? Grand solar minimum? I don't know what you mean by that. Could you elaborate? Are these pillows from Uzbekistan? No, they're from India. An astrology course, I've been thinking of doing an astrology course for so long, but it's just so much info, and I haven't had time yet. I'd need to take off like a month and make about 30 videos on each thing, like midpoints, the planets, the signs. It would take me a while, and I haven't had that to really go in depth and to teach you everything. So I'd have to take a month off, and I haven't been in a position to do that. Oh, good, Ethel. That's great. I look forward to that. Yeah, thank you, Heal Your Heart. I mean, I I think I'm a good teacher because I was a school teacher, which although teenagers aren't my favorite people in the world. I mean, I don't need to be there at the stage of your life when you're 15, you know? I'll talk to you when you're 20 or something. I'll prefer you then. That stage of life, I'm not so. But I was a school teacher, and um, because I'm so earthy, I have a way of simplifying complex things and making them really simple because I'm simple. I need to have simple things so I can handle with care. Great question, but politics is an explosive. Oh yeah, if you talk, I did a video in 2016 in October, and I called it Trump Gets Lucky. So that Trump is going to win the election. And there were so many comments, and I got so much hate. Um, it wasn't my fault. Like I didn't, I was just looking at the chart, and I put up the America chart when America was born. No, I looked up, yeah, I did the America chart, and then I looked at Trump's chart and his transits, and I just said Trump is going to get lucky, and I think he's going to win. And people just flipped. Because I mean, I wouldn't personally have voted for him, but I think people thought because I said he was going to get lucky, they thought I was a supporter, and they all like, I've never had so many comments on a video so quickly. I took it down because I just didn't want to get involved in that politics, and I don't think I made it clear enough that I was non-part, non, that I was non, that I was neutral. That was neutral. Any advice for an upcoming astrologer like yourself? Keep on learning. Read every book. Because you can never finish learning in astrology. Um, There's so much out there. Read Liz Green books, um, the Astrologer's Handbook, um, Astrology for Lovers. Just keep going and educating yourself because there's so much out there that's fascinating. I would suggest that's my only advice for an astrologer, to just keep learning, because how can you tell if you're sensitive, Gregory? Asensitive. You can tell if um, sometimes you just know things. Like if you're driving and you know that that car is going to put on their indicator and they're going to go left, then you're sensitive. We're all sensitive, okay? But it's like football players, okay? We can all play football, but some people are really good at it, and some people like me aren't. And we're all sensitives, we're all intuitive and psychic, but some have a natural aptitude for it and some don't. I don't have a natural aptitude for it. I'm an earth sign. I'm focused on practical physical things, and I was an atheist till I was 29. And then I had a spiritual awakening in 2010, and I was forced to connect and find a higher power of my understanding. And through that, I started receiving messages. And through meditation and prayer and joining a psychic development group and being part of a mediumship circle for 3 years, I flexed my intuitive muscle, and that made me more sensitive. And when I picked up the tarot again, my intuition, I could feel it just hop to the next plateau immediately because the tarot is just the best. So you are a sensitive. See how good you are and just train. I know energy has been around a lot longer than humans, but how do you explain this science to logical who need evidence? The problem is with spiritual energy, you can't prove it via scientific methods because you can't do it. It's like trying trying to get the exact weight of a piece of cheese with your hand rather than putting it on a scale. And because spirituality is something non-scientific, it's not quantifiable yet because we don't have the scientific tools for it yet. That's why you can't quantify it. And I doubt we'll ever have the scientific tools. So you have to take it on faith. And it's only, I mean, I was an atheist till I was 29. I wasn't really an atheist. It was just because I got kicked out of the church because I was a homo that they said bye. And then I was like, well, screw God. If they don't want me, I don't want them. Have you seen an astrologer who's Christian? Yeah, I think a lot of them. I think I'm kind of a Christian. I mean, that's what I was brought up in. I'm spiritual. I work with Jesus, but I the Chris I can't say I'm Christian because the Christians reject me because I'm an abomination, which actually I quite like. Now I think it's funny and it makes me feel special, but when I was 12, burning in hell wasn't so appealing. No, exactly. I'm not a Christian. No. Is numerology good in combination with tarot? Absolutely. Every day, Heidi, my daily tarot reading, I do the tarot reading. At the end, I count the numbers up and I combine them and I get a number. And that number vibration, I add to the daily tarot reading. Thank you, Sherry. I don't think so either. Do you have a deck for beginners? Yes. The Radiant Rider-Waite deck is the best deck for beginners. It's based on the original Rider-Waite deck, and that's the deck that all other decks are based on. But the Radiant Rider-Waite deck, they've just taken the same cards and made the colors brighter and more beautiful. So if you're learning the tarot, wedding. If you're learning the tarot, then that's the tarot deck I would recommend, the Radiant Rider-Waite. Gay people are the most loving people on this planet. If you were to meet, if you're on the gay scene, no, I think you would find that they're not. But always in communities like in Africa, there was always a Shangoma in each village. And it's always the gay guy who, because gay people have a bigger hypothalamus or something like that, and that makes us more sensitive to the higher realms. Scientifically, apparently that's been proven. I don't know if that's true. But it was always the gay guy in that village, in that society, who was the intuitive, the psychic, because we don't have children, we don't have family. We need to find other ways of connecting and finding love. Because in earlier days, not all gay people found other people to be with. And if you're alone, then you need to connect with a higher power for love. I mean, that's how I see it anyway. The chapter that discusses gays also talks about blood sacrifices, and I don't see the Bible as evidence. And also in some part it says that if you eat shrimp, you go to hell, apparently. So I know, right, David? Yeah. And straight people must love gay people because they make us all the time. Okay. Bonjour, 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 bonjour. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So, guys, any other questions about the new moon? Because we're getting off track now. We're talking about the gays. Any other questions? I am not Christ-like, believe me. I am not. I try and do my best and I meditate, but I am not Christ-like. Thank you for the amazing compliment, but yeah. No, this is the moon I've been talking about. This is a new moon in Taurus I've been talking about the whole time. I want to hook you. All right, so no more questions. I love you guys. Mwah. Thank you for watching and being part of this. Please share the video. Please hit subscribe on my channel. Please share the video. If you want to be notified of new videos, then subscribe and make sure the bell is on so that you get notifications of when new videos come out. But I think I'm gonna keep staying with you guys because I think I'm gonna do the daily tarot reading live as well now. I'm just enjoying being with you. So I'm gonna do that live as well, and I'll be lever. So I'm gonna be back in like a couple of minutes.